Hi, Ashley. There might have been some confusion on here. I am not sure whether it was Kyle or me that gave feedback on this, but I see it's here now. It was labeled EDST 2180, and so it's uh, perhaps one of us missed that. I'm assuming this is your project. I'm going to guess, but so here's your prompt bank. Um, Okay. So this is, I think it's your project. It's hard to know what it's hard to follow. So I don't know what's going on with your project. Also, I don't have edit status, so I can't really comment on that. But let's go to the actual portfolio. And so this is definitely the first time I've seen this. So maybe I couldn't get the link. I'm not sure. Anyway, you have for week one the Gen AI prompt. You um, spent 120 minutes on this. Sorry, I was just looking at your link here. This link will not work, as I have said in a number of my videos into the class. I cannot get a link to your chat GPT. You have to copy and paste that into a Google Doc and then create a link here so I can see that. So you were exploring the sole purposes of RC and wanted to look at ChatGPT, ask the educators. So you spent a lot of time on this, it looks like, and you talked about what you learned. The problem is you didn't do the correct activity. You didn't look at for lesson one. If you go to lesson one, you'll see that the correct activity is to go into Notebook LM and take a look at that tool and play around with it. So this is incomplete at this point. The other thing I should note, you've given yourself an A, but let me read this for you. Justify the grade you earned for this week based on the evidence you listed below. Specifically note what you learned, the challenges you may have addressed and overcome, and how you grew. Use this self-grading guide. So you have to use this grading guide to help you make a case for your A. An A is a high grade, so you have to make a strong case for that. You have to use this guide. You haven't done that, so the problem is this is self-grading, and if my dean comes to me and says, "Hey, why did Ashley get an A?" And I said, well, just because she put the letter A there, that's not going to be enough justification. So I hope that makes sense. You didn't do the right activity here, so you're definitely not in the A category. You have to do the notebook activity. That's actually a requirement for the course. That's something that's really, really important. What I love though is the detailed reflection here. I would say that is definitely a quality on what you did, and you spent some time. And once you do the notebook activity, that becomes a kind of an A plus thing because you spent a lot of time on this and you did the notebook activity. You have this, I don't see the prompt. I don't, again, I can't see that chat GPT prompt. You have this prompt bank for teachers, but let me give you some feedback on that. It's really hard to follow. You just have this prompt bank and then circle timeout activities, and you say generators a set of well, first of all, you can't use these long links here. I don't know, where does that link go to? Good morning train. So the good morning train, right? That's what you want to put. So what you do then is take this link here. I'm going to get rid of it. So I'm going to cut the link, or I'll copy it. And I just go here and I right click. Oh, I can't edit here. You didn't give me edit access here. Well, what you would do is you would right click here. It would say insert link. You'd insert the link and you can get rid of it because you can't give this document to anybody, right? And so it has to be formatted a lot nicer. And The prompts have to be better. You say create a set of 5 short, engaging morning circle for preschoolers to share something about themselves, favorite color, what they had for breakfast. Um, see, I would, for these kinds of prompts, I would ask Chat GPT. You're missing a lot of things from the basic thing. You're not saying, hey, you're an expert, you're an experienced ECE instructor with 20 years experience in designing effective activities. And then you can say generate this. And then what's the format you want? So it just kind of throws the format and how long, like short, you have to be specific. So what you do is you put that prompt in and then you ask ChatGPT to improve the prompt because these prompts are sort of like basic prompts, but they aren't um, they aren't top-notch prompts. Everybody puts these ones out. You need to put um, really they're good ideas, right? I think, but they need to have better prompts um, and write a short interactive story about a Okay, so you would probably use Gemini um, uh, storybook for that. Do some yoga to help children. Okay, that can't be a great prompt. Um, so these have to be thought out a lot more carefully. This one is a little bit better, but again, always ask ChatGPT to come up with a better prompt, and then use that prompt here. Um, So this is, you've got EC Prompt Bank for teachers. So you've got content here. I don't know what these pictures are for. Creative play activities, management chips. So I like the way you're organizing it. I would make these into headings. I would probably number these. You've got a lot of ones here, but it's probably better to do quality prompts than um, or even subdivide this because this is a lot for someone to take in. So the content's really good in the sense that you've put a lot of thought into that. You're making some, but you want this to be accessible to somebody from the outside. If you gave this, it might be too much. Let's just see here. So the right is stored. That doesn't seem to be a circle time activity, and it doesn't seem to be a prompt. Do some yoga. That doesn't seem to be a prompt. Provide weekly theme animals with one activity for each day. I think you need a richer prompt so that people aren't struggling with it. Okay, so show your ability, use the skill set that we had at the beginning, and then you can. That's some detailed feedback, but I just want it to be really good. You've put I think I like your reflection here, so I think that definitely is a quality. And then you've given good reflection here for this, and then I have told you that you please consult the video that I put out, and you may not be able to find it, but these these URLs aren't like, notice I don't just put a URL here, right? It links. So you can take this URL, you can copy it, you can highlight, you right click and insert the link. It looks much better. I don't think Grammarly is a great resource, to be honest, because everybody knows it. So I think that one, that certainly isn't that's sort of like B stuff. So here you've given yourself B plus, but you haven't given any reasons. So you would that's not going to work out. You did this debate here, but that action and this chat link doesn't work. you've done some good reflection, but if I go to the activities, so I'm going to lesson 2, and I'll show you in lesson 1. Remember, I mentioned that the activities are here. There's the Gen AI activity. Um, and then you were supposed to have a plan. Now you've kind of jumped ahead and done your prompt, which is fine. Um, but and also, going back to your prompt thing, I would actually have an overview about how to make a good prompt. That would help out, I think. This is this lesson, but if you go to lesson 2, I don't think you did the correct, I could be wrong. Yeah, you were supposed to either do this on information, this activity, or find a new Gen AI tool. For some reason, you did this debate. Oh, that's the debate that we had, but that would have been in that's an in-class activity. But you select a benefit or challenge from a short list to conduct research and ask the chatbot to provide you uh, solidify your prompt. Okay. Um, so I'm not, it doesn't seem like that was the activity. Maybe let me just, yeah, this is, so yeah, I don't think you did, it doesn't look like you did the correct activity. Um, so yeah, you just did the in-class activity. So you missed that whole Gen A activity. So that's incomplete. You've got an AI enhanced visual schedule in Canva. So I can't get a link to that. So this stuff, yeah, it has to be all in this folder here. I can't see the work. This is 12 minutes of feedback. It's quite a bit. But you do some good reflection. That's good. You didn't, I don't see the resource. So that's right now, you're kind of really at a sort of a low, maybe a, well, it's an incomplete. It's not even a B. Because you haven't done the Gen AI activities. So I hope this helps this feedback, and I apologize for the confusion and how long this video is.